Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the feature race at Del Mar on Sunday. Graded stakes action for the turf sprinters. Here's the field for the Green Flash. It's a grade 3, $100,000 is the purse, 5/8 of a mile, deserving morning line favorite. The 8, Gregorian Chant, had a 3-race win streak snapped last time out in New York in the grade 1 Jaipur. They were real aggressive with him out of the gate, Mike, and he might got cooked on a real hot pace.
Yeah, it feels like it was surprising to see them come out of there running in that race based on what he had done in his prior 3 turf sprint stand. But they went with him. I guess that was a good sign in a lot of ways. They got very aggressive. He paid the price. That pace was fast.
But he doesn't need the lead, and he's unlikely to get it, turning back to 5, which could be good for Gregorian Chant. We throw up the time form US pace projector. Little Juanito is a horse that has shown good early speed, but has been rateable in the past, as has Chasin' Money. Down towards the rail, knee deep in snow, is more of a dirt speed type. Texas Wedge, I think, is very interesting, even with the blinkers coming off, because this horse has some back class, and I'd love to see them use his speed.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's a really dangerous horse in here. His last couple of turf sprints aren't his best races. Those are going a little bit longer. He's got races, though, not that long ago that would make him really tough in here.
Knee deep in snow does have speed, but he's 0 for 2 lifetime on turf, and we haven't seen him in 8 months. This just seems like a very tough spot for his turf sprint debut.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a big price in here, but I don't see how to make a real case for him.
Giant fan of Texas Wedge, as I mentioned in the open. Where's he been? Only a couple months off, and then, it was a 5-month off layoff before the race at Lone Star. He was washed off, so they had to run him. Then they ran him in the Siren Lure, then another layoff. You go back and watch some of his races in Formulator. He's had some miserable trips, and he's run some good races.
Yeah, this horse is pretty good. They've run him in some tough spots too, and it hasn't always worked out for him, but he's run some nice races. He's got figures that would make him really tough in here. And I like the idea of them running him 5 furlongs here.
Lieutenant Dan is up next. Now, Lieutenant Dan controlled a moderate pace in the race we're going to show you right now earlier this Del Mar meet, but let's give him a little bit of an extra point, so to speak, because it was his first race in over a year. He was very sharp, and he finished it off. Now, this horse always had some ability in the Calbred ranks, whether it be on dirt, whether it be at slightly longer distances. Maybe he's reborn as a 5/8 of a mile turf sprinter.
Yeah, I think that might be a valid way to look at him. We'll see what kind of price he goes off at in here, Dan. He's 2 for 2 sprinting on turf, though, in his career, and he's got competitive figures for those races. And even though he wired that field last time off the layoff, he did it from off the pace the first time.
Isn't the key to the race, however, the 4 Collusion Illusion, who won the Grade 1 Bing Crosby last summer, 3rd in the Santa Anita Sprint Championship, 3rd in the Malibu, just a really good dirt sprinter. And Mark Glatz had his problems getting him back to the races. So here he is now on turf. He has turf pedigree. The Twirling Candies can run on the grass. I wonder if this race is more of a stepping stone for something else, but if he handles the turf and he's ready, he might very well be the best horse in the field.
He might be. I wonder about whether this is just a prep as well, his first start since the Malibu, and this is where they elect to get him going. I understand that he might handle the turf, and then if he does, maybe he's the best horse. But man, you're going to have to take a short price on this horse, and it's not like he's facing a bunch of bumps here. There are some horses in here who can really run.
One of them's Chasin' Money, who just ran 3rd in the Siren Lure, going 6.5. Completely different ball game than 5/8, but let's watch the Siren Lure nonetheless. He fell a little bit further behind than he'd been in some of his races. We see him trying to get to the outside for a clear run. He's going to split horses, and he is going to come with that run. Finish a solid 3rd. He was beaten by Gregorian Chant 2 starts back when up close to the pace, but he's adaptable, and he should be right in the thick of things when they turn for home. It looked like he had this thing won.
Yeah, he did. He was pretty game there, too, because he had that horse leaning on him in the upper stretch, but he was able to get through that. It still looked like he was going to win. He got nailed at the end. Listen, he's run some good races, Dan. Cutting back to 5 for this shouldn't really be a problem for him, but I do wonder if he doesn't have to improve by quite a bit to beat this field.
Little Juanito's up next. Let's watch his effort on July the 16th at Del Mar. Little Juanito got a really nice trip in this race. Tucked in the pocket, in behind the pace setter, got to the outside. There's no one coming behind him, and he's going to blow on by. It's his 2nd consecutive turf sprint victory. He's earned respectable buyers in both of those races, and he just seems to be feeling dead red right now. Now the question is, Is he a stakes horse? It'll be a stakes debut in start number 19.
Yeah, I'm going to step him up here off of a very impressive win last time. He looked good winning that race against weaker horses. This is just a way tougher spot. We'll see how he handles it.
Give Me the Loot might be a 5/8 specialist. He has won his last 3 races, going 5/8 of a mile on the turf, including the Albany at Golden Gate Fields, his most recent start. This race was off of a layoff. Give Me the Loot was very, very sharp. He went right to the front. They turned for home. He's opened up a commanding lead. Maybe he feels the effects of the layoff here. A couple of nice horses in Northern California. Brando the Bartender, Better Trip Nick. Give Me the Loot holds on. Solid figure.
I mean, he ran well again in this race. As you point out, this seems like this is the distance that he really likes. He's been a very smart claim for these connections. They're going to step him up as well into a way tougher spot here. They tried it once in the Eddie D at the end of last year. That didn't work out. So we'll see if he handles it better this time.
And I was really impressed with the Gregorian Chant once Phil D'Amato turned him back sprinting. Who knew? You could turn a horse back from 1.5 miles and still win a 6-furlong restricted race. And that's exactly what D'Amato did in the Clocker's Corner when this horse came back from last to win. He proved it wasn't a fluke in the San Simeon. I love that allowance race. He didn't break very well. It was an in-out trip where he was forced very wide turning for home and he got up. And the Jaipur, that was a race where the top 2 finishers came from last and next to last, and Gregorian Chant got cooked.
Yeah, it was just surprising to see them go contest the pace there, and he wound up paying the price as the closers came and got him. He was so good prior to that, Dan. I wonder if the 5 furlongs, might be a little short for him. All of his other good races are at 6. It's a pretty big difference, but he was really impressive sprinting on the grass earlier this year. I like him in this spot.
Top pick time for the Green Flash Handicap. Pretty wide open race. Curious to see what we get from Collusion Illusion, making his first start on the turf. I think he's going to take some money. Lieutenant Dan did enough for me off of that long layoff that makes me want to give him another chance, especially if he drifts a little bit on the morning line. You're going with Gregorian Chant. He's a class master.
Yeah, I've sort of been waiting for this horse since the Jaipur. It just feels like he got really unlucky in there. I'll take him right back in this spot. I don't have Collusion Illusion in there anywhere, so he's going to beat me if he takes to the turf.
8235 for Mike, 3465 for me. It's the Green Flash. It's the feature at Del Mar on Sunday. Good luck.